mid-state could see more severe weather. You see the big blob there on your screen. The wind could be downright dangerous, in fact.
A lot going on. So let's get right on over to Code Red Chief Meteorologist Katie Morgan with the timing, because that is what everyone wants to know.
Yeah, this is going to be afternoon, evening for tomorrow. So morning will be A-OK. After 4 p.m., we'll need to be weather aware for the chance of severe weather. This is what we have going into Wednesday evening, 4 p.m. to midnight, with damaging wind, the primary threat, and tornadoes possible as well. Now, leading up to this severe thunderstorms, we're looking at a pretty windy day. We will be looking at wind gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. Possibly even 50 miles per hour, and that's before the line even reaches us. Once we do see those severe thunderstorms rolling in, we could have wind gusts upward to 70 miles per hour. So here's the latest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Again, places us mainly in a level 3 out of 5. So looking more and more likely that numerous strong to severe thunderstorms will be likely for us as we head into the afternoon and the evening hours. Now, of course, there is always a few limiting factors, and there are a few as we head into tomorrow's event. We'll talk a little more about that and what it could mean for the afternoon and the evening. Things are quiet downtown now on Broadway. The severe thunderstorm watch is already up to our west in Oklahoma, parts of Kansas, and through Kansas City, looking at strong to severe thunderstorms. This is all part of the same storm system that's marching our direction, and again will reach us as we head into the afternoon tomorrow. How to be prepared? This is what you should be doing now, tonight. Make sure you've got that reliable weather app, Fox 17 Code Red weather app on your phone ready to go. Have your WIA alerts turned on. These are automatic warnings sent out on your phone, kind of like the Amber Alerts, but they have to be turned on in your settings. So make sure that they are on so you get those alerts. That'll bring in tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings. Weather radio is a secondary source to have information in case cell towers go down.
Timing on these storms today?
Yes, it's going to be kind of an interesting day. Record heat potential, really gusty winds.
I was thinking about that last night. We were outside at a baseball game, right? The wind was already starting to pick up. It was starting to get a little chilly, and I thought, we're going to be in the 80s tomorrow, and here we are. I mean, that's just wild.
I know, and there's so much going on. It's one of those things we've almost lost sight of because we're talking about severe weather and the wind, but yeah, we could see record heat today.
Golly.
On top of everything else that's going on. And it's not hard, obviously, when you're starting off this warm. Temperatures still mid-60s, even upper 60s in a few spots around the mid-state. And it's going to be another warm day, despite the fact that we won't see much sunshine. Hopefully, won't see much sunshine. We need those clouds to stick around as much as possible to reduce the ability for our atmosphere to get that instability to create some of those stronger storms. But we'll be watching that. If you're working outside, boys, it could be getting breezy today, especially this afternoon. Winds sustained between 20 and 30 miles an hour with gusts up around 40 miles an hour was what it was initially looking like yesterday. Now it's looking like they get up to around 50 plus miles per hour. So it will be a breezy day. That's why we've got all those wind headlines. We've got wind advisories, high wind warnings. That's going to push the temperature up to the 80s for just about everyone. Again, 84 would tie the record high for today. Now, we're mainly talking about a cloudy day, and we want it to be. Any breaks in the clouds, which you can see the models are showing some here or there. Here's one late morning. Here's another one that's going to pop up early afternoon. Any breaks in the clouds allows the ground to warm up, get the air moving. That adds instability to the atmosphere. That's one of the ingredients you need for storms, and that's the one that has almost completely been lacking for us. But the other one is shear, and that one is so high that even though we have none of this, if we get even a little bit of this, this helps offset that and gives us a chance to see some of those stronger storms. Big takeaway, cloudier the better. More sunshine, that gives us a better chance to see stronger storms. Those storms arrive late afternoon, early evening to our western counties. They're going to make their way to Nashville in the I-65 corridor right around dinner time, if not a little bit later. And then folks out in the Cumberland Plateau, you'll start to get this stuff between about 10 o'clock and midnight. At this point, we will start to see this stuff weaken a bit as it continues to move into East Tennessee. But again, everyone's going to have their window to pick up some of those stronger storms as that line comes through before everything clears out overnight. Only changes for our severe weather outlook are putting that enhanced risk that was kind of hugging I-24, inched it over just ever so slightly to the east. And also you can see we've inched in that moderate risk for severe weather, which again, looking at another severe weather outbreak compared to, was it Tuesday of last week? This almost looks very similar to that. And again, last time we were all the way up here on the northernmost extent, and you can see now we're in an area that's a little bit more favorable. So make sure you are aware of the weather this afternoon and this evening as storms are rolling through. Main threat for this is going to be for those damaging winds that could be in excess of 70 miles an hour. And also, if things work out just right, we could get a couple of rotating updrafts in there, which means we'd have that potential to see a tornado or two spin up as well. It's a very warm start this morning. Temperatures, in fact, right before we came on air, we're still sitting in the 70s. So we have not cooled down at all. We've got cloud cover out there that will stick with us for most of the day, but the wind is more than going to make up for that to warm things up. So we're starting in the mid-60s. You don't need that jacket as you're heading out the door this morning. Winds right now, for the most part, sustained anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour, but these are really going to be ramping up. So much so that not only do we have wind advisories in place for everywhere you see in tan, but now we're actually starting to see things switch over to that color in green, which is a high wind warning. That's one step above a wind advisory. Memphis offices did it right as we came on air at about 4 o'clock this morning. Starting to see some changes a little farther south, and it'll be interesting to see if the Nashville weather office decides to change that too, because we'll have the winds gusting up around 50 miles an hour, if not a little bit higher. That's the equivalent of a thunderstorm wind gust that could do damage. And then once those storms get here, because this is all ahead of the storms, we could see winds within some of these storms up to 70 miles an hour or higher. Going to be a very interesting day. Warm day, windy day. That wind is going to push us up near 84 degrees. That would tie the record high. And then we get in on the storms. Severe weather outlook showing that enhanced risk has creeped a little bit farther east from I-24, and you can see that moderate risk now touching a couple of our southwestern counties. Severe weather outbreak in the making today.